Yeah. There's no higher compliment than the affection of a Mormon, I've found.
That's true.
Because it's non-sexual. Because it's pure love.
They love you for you.
They're not trying to bone you. They just want to give you love.
What are the life updates? Did you manage to buy a cow? I know you were trying.
Oh, yeah. Well, so I was trying. Literally got in the car to go get them. And the guy was like, oh, he sold me. So I was trying to buy 2 bottle calves where you bottle feed them.
Yeah.
Right? They're early from like a dairy where they're like, yeah, we have man calves. We don't want these. And so I was like, all right, I'd love to buy them. It's like $50. And I was going to go get them. And then when he said I couldn't, I was like, okay. And I messaged another buddy and he's like, yeah, I got some calves, $400. But they're like on grain already. And I was like, that's a big price jump. I'm not ready for that. So then I started looking like, well, what do I have to do to raise a bottle fed calf? And it was like, that's a lot of work. And there's a little cold snap. I'm like, wait, do I need to have a home for it? I thought I could just throw it in the field. So it got a little more complicated as I start. I'm kind of glad when I got in the car it wasn't there because I'd be really signed up for a lot more work.
How much research did you do before?
I was going to say, this is a classic case of like good from far from good.
You learned a lot after you committed.
Playing with a cow in the playroom, and I was like, that cow, but bigger. What if I could do that? Well, so then I went and talked to. There's a farm that does like A2 milk. Do you know this study?
Yeah, sure.
It's the A2 with that like if you're lactose intolerant, you can drink this milk.
Right.
Magic.
That might be a thing for because it's like the enzyme isn't in it that is in the milk that normally adds. So they have a big farm. They're on like 35 acres. And they've got like 40 cows. And so I went and looked at that. It was like, maybe you could run some cows here because I'm more about the regenerative farming aspect of this. I want like some poop going in the ground and helping rebuild it and moving around.
You want a full arc, just all the creatures,
but very like small.
Couple,
no, I don't want it to. I don't want
a family size arc, convenient one,
easy, big enough. I need to hire a guy for 2 hours a morning to come and do the stuff. So then when I go on vacation, I don't have to board my dog.
Yeah.
So went and saw this. They're way overcrowded. It's a huge mud pit, the whole place, and I was like, I don't want anything like this. But I want a cow.
Right.
What do I do? So now I'm just sort of
shopping.
I mean, like I'm inviting some people to come and
raise a cow,
run some cows on there, but I want them moving often so it doesn't turn into mud pit. And I just put wildflowers down. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's a lot to do. So short answer, no, didn't get a cow. Yeah. Long answer, I am knee deep in trying to get a cow.
Yeah. That's good. In the process. I like it.
And soon you'll be elbow deep in a cow.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Delivering a baby. Could you look at me? Could you imagine me delivering a baby? I mean, I'd be great at it.
The cow birth is supposed to be pretty easy.
I have an incredible bedside manner.
Yes, you do.
Hello?
Yeah.
Those are lucky ladies.
Just gonna using the backside of my hand, very professional. Coming in with it. They say when a cow is born, the first thing you should see is 2 hooves and then the nose. And then it comes out like Superman.
Yeah.
Dude, I
didn't know that.
That's amazing. That sounds awesome.
Like, that sounds awesome. Obviously, I'm like, man, in my mind, it's 2 back hooves coming out, but no.
If they get stuck, they like take this giant like lever and just crank. They like tie up the hooves and like have a ratchet.
Yeah. Wait till you see human birth. It is the forceps to go in and pull ahead. Eric, when you're in that delivery room, you're going to be in shock. It's the jaws of life in there.
I'm going to be like, it's just like the cows. That's right. It's Superman. My wife will shoot me instantly.
No, so let's see. Other life updates. Got new motorcycles for the kids, which is very exciting. The little electric ones.
Oh, yeah. That's awesome.
It'll be a good time. So that's
for them to ride over those bridges that don't have like rails on them.
Yeah. I built another bridge too. I'm cutting another trail in the other direction and using telephone poles for this one. So like a more stable, stable,
awesome.
Wider than 3 foot. But we'll see.
Nice.
A lot of Daredevil. I mean, as the weather changes, my life gets dramatically better.
Yeah.
So
the Daredevil Dones.
That's me, man.
Tearing up the woods.
Yeah.
What do you got, Bo?
Mostly just youth basketball, man. That's the world we're living in these days.
And a personal chef.
It's been like 2 months.
A lot of cooking and a lot of hoops.
That's good.
Yeah, that's what we're into.
Yeah.
No, every time we come over, Bo just tells us about the breakfast he made. Sous vide bacon last night.
That's true. That is true. Sous vide bacon experiment.
Tell us how you know bacon's done right.
It's just, let me just tell you, the sous vide bacon, delicious, also not worth the hassle. Let me just save everybody the time.
It's not hard. You just put it in the oven. Make Al mad.
I hate oven bacon. I hate it. No, he says the perfect bacon is when it cracks, but it's still connected on the inside. It's still chewy.
Yep.
Right. So you get the crisp and it hangs in there. So you get that little payoff. And I didn't know that.
I'm very happy if my bacon shatters when I look at it.
Oh, really?
I'm happy. I'm fine with that.
I burned bacon for the first time this last week, and that was a sad moment, but still good.
You made it pretty far without burning bacon.
Yeah.
That's a good life.
40 years.
Not bad.
No burning bacon.
Not bad at all. Not bad at all.
What about you, man?
Well, I've mostly been working on this fund. Have you guys heard about it?
Fundamentally ill for a moment.
Mostly working on this fund.
Very, very briefly. I'm back. We're fine. It was short lived. But yeah, just working hard. About to publish this book. We're almost done.
Really?
We're almost done. Everything's like coming together. Waiting on the illustrations, waiting on the foreword, but like almost done with the manuscript.
Who's drawing things for you?
Jack Butcher. He's the man.
That's not Fiverr.
Visualize value. No.
Oh,
His stuff is so good. It's really,
what
really awesome.
Is like so how many illustrations will be in a book?
Depends how many he gets done in the time. I mean,
like 20?
Probably 10 to 20, I guess. But he's been working on them for a while. It's going to be awesome. His work is sweet. Are
you ready to move on to the next subject? Have you stared at Balaji Wisdoms too long?
I'm ready.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, 2 or 3 years on like one. I mean, he's got a ton of ideas, but like, yeah, I'm ready to like.
Can you do the next one faster?
Yeah. This one was faster than Naval. I think the next one will be even faster.
When do you get like the book workshop where you just throw it to a bunch of 26-year-olds and they magically write exactly the book you want?
I think after the next one.
Really?
I think that after this,
it's like, here is the recipe. Now you guys can cook the food and I'll stamp it.
Organize it like that.
So like this is what James Patterson does.
Yeah,
like,
no.
This is how he has scaled like quality-ish. Right.
No, this is what I want. The James Patterson model for writing these books.
James Patterson? What books?
He did like
all
Jack
of the books.
Ryan, like a ton of these thrillers and spy thrillers.
It's got to. It has to be hundreds. Like it has to be hundreds of books. Literally hundreds of books, and it's because he has like he has an engine to create the books that come out in his voice and his style. I mean, it's the most unbelievable, like high leverage, like book creation thing, and they're all good. Like it's amazing. It's amazing.
He works with co-authors. He's just like, here's my outline. Like you take it and write the book.
Man. You're like, how did he write this, man?
Yeah,
these are all fantastic.
I mean, there's different people. Like Danielle Steele does it by working like 20 hours a day and abandoning her family, and like that's just all she does is write. And James Patterson is like, I'm going to hire a couple of collaborators.
In the book,
she's probably the happiest person alive.
Man,
she's just
you read one of those, you say you're doing great.
Yeah,
you're having a fun time.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm going to experiment with some of the like scale up stuff and different formats and stuff after.
But you got one more to do before you're ready for that.
Yeah. Okay. I think so.
Is the next one still Elon? Even with the controversy?
I want it to be. Yeah. I don't like.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't care.
I like the controversy. Like he doesn't historically get into all his own controversies already.
No, I'm like a few, like these books are about finding like the most helpful things someone has ever said in their public lives and like compiling all that. Like, I don't give a shit about the 10% stuff that everybody disagrees with and wants to fight about.
Yeah. It's been funny to watch. I mean, Twitter has fundamentally not changed for me at all.
Mm-hmm.
But like, also I feel bad that I'm not angrier. Yeah, I'm like, should I really? Are we supposed to? I don't know. I still use it. I actually use it. I don't hate the For You page, and that feels controversial to me.
Yeah, I mean the link aggregator thing. Like, there's a bunch of good stuff in there. Once you're,
I still remember when Zuck launched the newsfeed, man, and just like, this is bullcrap, and like huge millions of people telling him he's wrong. He's like, screw you guys, this is way better.
It's like, you guys know you're all using it like another 2 hours a day, right? Like, I got you. Like, yeah.
Also, V1 of the newsfeed was the best V1 or best newsfeed. So-and-so updated a photo. They did this.
Oh, yeah.
It was all like your friends doing stuff. That was what I wanted to see.
There wasn't even ads back then.
No,
I don't think.
Right. That's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you were like, this is cool. I remember the biggest complaint. It felt too voyeuristic. It's like, if somebody changed their relationship status, and like as a single guy, I was like, man,
I got push notifications on that. Yeah. And our parents were all yelling at us. So they're like, stop putting public information online. And now like they are spending hours a day. Like telling you what Debbie did.
That part is terrifying, right? You remember, do you guys remember somebody did like the lollipop video where you'd like launch it, give it access to your thing, and then it like shows pictures of your kids playing in the playground and the guy in a creepy you don't remember this?
No, we didn't fall for that one.
I have to find it because it's fantastic. It's all just like whatever your profile is open to, it'll build this story around it that should freak you out and like convince you to lock down your settings. And it was like, very well done. Nice work. I'll find it. It's a good time.
Don't send it to us. Thanks. No. All right, you want to do some work?
You don't remember the creepy man video? That's so weird. I love that one. Oh, it was fun.
All right, Al, you should go first. You got two.
Yeah.
You led 2 deals this quarter.
Oh, I'm on the agenda. Al bought a cow. That's great.
Yeah. Question mark. I needed to know. I was subscribed for cow updates. Okay. I also like that you didn't look at the agenda until 11 minutes into this. Right.
You're making me look bad, or I'm making me look bad by doing what I do. Okay, yeah, we did have 2 investments that came through like with me as a sponsor this month, or this quarter, which were exciting. So first is Faster Better. Faster Better comes from Matt Ellis and team. They built Cloudability. Matt Ellis is a very good friend of mine. He built Cloudability by he built this this little tool that like monitored his AWS usage and told him where he could save. And like he built it for himself and then enabled it for like a couple of friends, and then they told their friends, and it was literally like a automated spreadsheet that he would do a thing. And then he had like, nobody was paying him any money for it. And then this company like finally their like finance department messages him and was like, hey, this went offline. He's like, you don't pay me for it. Like, what do you care? They're like, if you take this down, we will sue you. Like, we need this tool. This is how we run our business. Wow. And so he's like, okay, and now I'll professionalize and make it a thing, and then turned into a great big company that did great. And so they sold that, I think, last year, 2 years ago. And then that whole founding team, like the CTO and the VP and all those guys, moved together, sort of banded together on this. And they're all working on Faster Better, which is like, that was our first one where we sort of, if it's people that we love, we follow them pretty regularly and say, all right, we want to be a part of whatever you do. So that's our first move on it. The second one is Faster Better is actually a great idea. So they're tackling things like for my inbox management, I use a tool called SaneBox. I also pay for Superhuman. Like I do all this work to try and get my email to not suck.
And you have an EA.
And I have an EA. Dude, like I will spend whatever it is to try and like make that protocol manageable for me.
An Athena EA.
An Athena EA. Yeah. You love.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I was like, I told my EA,
Thank you, Athena.
I was like, would you leave Athena? Can I just poach you from them and give you all the money? Because they drive no value to me, but you're great. Sorry, Athena. No, well, and EA.
We can fight about that if you want.
I actually, that would be an interesting debate because, my satisfaction surveys are all like, you're great. I think that your service, Athena, drives so little value to you. That being said, I don't know her before Athena. So they might have done dramatic improvements with her. And then
they train, they coach, they feedback, they give them playbooks.
No, I like the idea of it. But I'll talk to her and I'll be like, doesn't anybody teach you how to book a flight? And she's like, no, I'm sorry. Nobody knew. I'm like, gosh, dang it. Why am I flying to Memphis? This is wrong.
So I can hear Chris Ho is he's a new investor of ours and sent another deal that we're going to talk about in a second. He's the chief client officer at Athena.
I
can hear him screaming at me right now. Like, there's a flight booking class. She just didn't go to it.
I love Athena.
I have 90 pages written about how to book a flight.
I yelled at him. I yelled at him on last quarterly because I was like, I have to put so much of my energy in teaching them how to be because it's hard. I think what I'm used to is like an EA that's great at scheduling and calendars and stuff, and like amazing at that, and then everything else is like iffy.
Yeah.
And I think an Athena EA is more like they're okay at that, But they're also okay at like 1,000 other things.
It's more raw clay, I think.
Yeah,
like, yeah. And I spent a lot of time just being like, you go learn. I want you to go learn this skill because I need you to have it. And like,
well, I think what killed me was like, I started with a fractional EA that just did my calendar and stuff. She was fantastic at it, but she didn't do anything else for me. And then I went to my EA now, her name's Zane, and she's fantastic, but she didn't know a lot of this stuff. And I'm like, all right, I'll teach you how to do this. Let me show you how this goes and how to make this work. And I'm like, dang it, Athena, you guys should have scaled her up to this. But it's probably just a misunderstanding on how that all works. So anyway, I mean, I'm still paying her. Still a client of Athena.
She's running your puzzle. You like bought a company.
No, she literally, she runs my real estate stuff. She runs my puzzle stuff. She runs, like, I make her do all of my run my budgeting app, but like she'll classify any the charges that come through and make sure that it's where it's supposed to be. And I'm like, man, my life is dramatically better.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Every bill I pay, I just take pictures, send it to her. It's great. She does fantastic. Anyway.
Can you do a thing on Athena where you just hire them after they've worked for Al for like 9 months? I want the post Al experience. Yeah. Like now they can do everything.
Like Al's hard work.
She legit, man. She is like a ninja at this stuff now. Just like when it's fun when you reach the spot, but it's taken a year. But we've reached the spot where I'm like, I was just thinking I should do that. She's like, I know, I got you. Hey, your friend's having a birthday. You want to send him this or this? And I'm like, yes, I do. And that's exactly what I would send him. It's a whoopee cushion. Yeah. you nailed it.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
The payoff is here. So anyway.
We've invested a lot in trying to make email better. And that's the problem.
Yeah. So Faster Better, what they're doing is they're doing like Office 360 and Google tools. Basic things like small basic things like the same box move, which same box is will take anything that we think might be spam or whatever and turn it into a digest and like show you what's there. The Faster Better guys are like, we could do that with AI. We can dynamically, if nobody opens this one, it's always spam. Like you never open it. We're going to move it to a place where you can still find it, you can still search for it, but like we're going to give you the best inbox experience possible. We can do a lot with basic AI and understanding of who you talk to around your contacts and merging that, cleaning up like that. 1,000 people have tried to do that. And they're like, we just want to take the easiest low hanging fruit and charge you $1 or $2 a month for it. And like, you can start cleaning this up and then we'll add more tools on as we go. I'm like, yeah, I love it. I think everybody will be a subscriber and like this easy basic stuff that should be there will dramatically improve experience with calendars, with contacts, with email, all the stuff that we touch 1,000 times a day and make that better. So we're excited. We're excited about the space. We're excited about their solution for it. I also love that they're like solving it in the exact same way they did before with like, we're building a thing that makes our lives better. We're expecting nobody to use it. We'll build it, put it out there. And then, once 1 million people are using it, we say, oh, we've got a great thing and off we go. So really like Matt Ellis, really like the team, really like the company. So we're excited to be in their very first raise, which, it's always, it's fun when you're like a first check into these things, which is sort of a badge of honor, I think, for us to be like, no, we saw it early, believed in them, went with it. So that's bad.
Yeah. I like that a lot too. Like I've had a few conversations with family offices recently who are kind of interested in what we're doing. And so much of it is that like, we get to do the most fun part in those first checks. And they're all kind of like, oh, we wish we could do that. Right. But like the checks aren't quite big enough. And like, we don't quite know the folks who are doing those things. And we don't hear about them until they've already raised an overpriced C round or whatever. And I think that's like, it is, I think actually what makes it like the most credible for us to be positioned the way we are, where it's like, this is all we're going to do. Like, we're not trying to go raise $50 million to do this stuff. Like, because that is like the most meaningful and fun part. And that's like what I love about these. Like, I hope Matt and the posse kill it, but also like, they're all high risk and fun because of it. So,
well, it's funny too. Like speaking of the fundraise, he was telling me, he's like, I sent a note out to like 100 of my, VC buddies. And I got like 88 responses within 2 hours.
Yeah.
He was like, everybody was really excited for me.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So like, that's one of those though, that like, if we tried to show up 2 rounds from now, like we'd never make it in. Like there'd be no way. But because like we get to be like, oh, you're doing a thing. We love you.
Let's go. Let's just go. Yep.
And you guys go way back.
Yep.
So you get that first email.
Yeah.
Like, that's awesome. Yeah, I liked that they. I think they're in like the under. All the like tinkerers and builders are in the kind of like sexy like Mac app productivity space, and these guys are like, no, like look at where the big numbers are. It's all like Office workspace users, Google Docs. Like we can do a ton of stuff in that, and that's where the big market is.
Well, if they can have margins at like $2 a month, right? Like, great, awesome, you're doing fantastic, and then like you'll probably end up charging more because that's just the way it works. But like, you can live around there, man. That'd be amazing. Everybody would put it in its cost of a candy bar, right?
Yep. Experience working with big partners is huge. Like they'll just grow right under Google's nose.
Yeah.
Like they'll watch them develop. And
also, I mean, they built all their last company was all on inroads into AWS, which is notoriously hard to like interface with or build a company around, but like they did great. So high confidence that they can navigate this if they're right.
And this is a cool, this is an accidental theme that we usually have each quarter, but like all of our companies are repeat founders or entire founding teams. Which is cool. Like experienced previous exits. Pretty awesome. But yeah, reading that through that deck is just like all 4 of them have worked together at their last company.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
Successful things. And you can feel in that deck the like
contempt.
Yeah. Like the design is so like stock fonts is like, I got this. Just give me the money. Like, let me get back to work. Like, I'm not over investing in design and pitch. Like, here's the deck. Yes or no. I got work to do. Like, yeah, it's a good one.
What's yours, man? What's the next one?
So this company finally has a name, which is exciting. It's another
Aalo. How do you say it? Is it Aalo? Aalo.
I've been saying Aalo, but I'm not sure. I'm not positive. I haven't heard the founder pronounce it.
I think they should go with Al's pronunciation.
It's very bright. It's exciting. Yeah, it's an optimistic company.
Which for a nuclear company, you want it to be bright.
Yeah, Aalo Atomics. Fuck. Aalo Atomics has been in the making for a long time. So this, like, probably more than a year ago now. And I did the podcast about Where's My Flying Car? That book is like gets you really into like nuclear and nanotech and all this stuff. Chris, who's a friend of mine that we were just talking about, Athena, reached out and was like, dude, you should meet my buddy Matt. He was my founder at Humi, which is a healthcare sort of company. They're like the Gusto of Canada. Like payroll, HR benefits, like huge enterprise successful company up there. Built that whole thing. But his undergrad,
took me a minute to remember Gusto.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's like it's been a minute since outside to work with Gusto.
It's the payroll company of Canada.
It's big. It's a successful company.
Yeah.
But Matt's like original education was all in nuclear, like engineering and physics and stuff. And so he's just gotten like,
I love these.
Here we go. Like, I want to spend the rest of my life working on
this. Isn't that weird when you're like, oh, what are you doing? They're like, oh, I'm a nuclear physicist. You're like, right. Oh, you really are. I forget that they exist, right? It's used as such a trope of like uber smart. I'm into astrophysics. It's like, wow.
What are you doing in payroll software? Getting some easy money and then going back to nuclear. Yeah. So
it's your semester off, so you can go do the thing that really matters again. I'm working at Arby's, so I can go back. I'm making my money in payroll, so I can go.
It works for the Chipotle guy.
Yeah, this is the classic. This is the classic trope of the stripper paying her way through college, guys. That's what this is. So
this is the tech version.
I had to build a successful payroll company, so I can finally go do.
Matt.
My father wasn't proud.
So Matt and I like sort of caught up, I don't know, like every quarterly or so as he was like navigating and exploring this like world of nuclear and being like, how the hell, like, why is nobody getting regulatory approval? What are the startups doing? Like, who's building what's crowded, what's not? What are the pathways to commercialization? And it finally kind of the pieces all came together. And this is going to be a slightly edited like, we are not able to share everything that we know about this company publicly on the podcast. It's there's more in the LP notes.
Give us your money and we'll tell you.
Classic paywall trope, Eric. Really nice. Really nice. That's amazing.
The paywall is $5,000 a quarter, and we'll tell you what's up.
I mostly just didn't want.
Are you titillated?
Like, do you think that's a bulletproof case? Because it's not. So like, there's pieces are coming together for this company to kind of like get created and find this really interesting.
What are they doing, Eric?
Approach to regulatory stuff. They are designing and building nuclear fission microreactors. So microreactors, like small scale in the like
power a city, don't power a state.
100 kilowatt to 10 megawatt range. Yeah, very small. So like the small modular reactors,
small enough to power a residential home, or a suburb?
More than that, but not a suburb.
What about my home?
Maybe Bo's house. Like 2 nuclear microreactors.
Color me interested.
Yeah. We need there's a bunch of people doing small modular reactors. That's Last Energy. That's X Energy. There's like a ton of people retrofitting like whole power plants. That's like a big ass thing. These guys are like not quite shipping container scale, but like smaller and ideal for remote installations and things like that. So they want to like design and build these at like factory scale, so they can crank out a ton more of them.
Honestly, that's like an incredibly fun space, right? Like if you can pull it off, that is like magic, right? Like that is awesome.
It's really, really cool. They've got a good niche early in the market. I think they've got an interesting like path to regulatory approval that is like amounts to a competitive advantage in this space at the moment, because none of these have ever been approved for sale yet. And their explicit goal is like be the first one to actually like legally reach the market.
Well, their secret sauce is like it's 2 guys that can actually do this, right?
Yeah. But we can't say any more at the moment.
2 individual
paywall.
Kind of. we didn't install this paywall, okay? Matt, the founder.
Yes,
did.
I know.
I'm not mad that it exists. I do want whoever, wants you to pay us,
right?
But I'm not going to hide that fact.
No. I think this one is really cool and out there, and it would be really awesome to see this thing pulled off. Like a really world changer if you can pull it off.
Well, sir, I mean, the idea of just letting like my city, right? Sub 5,000 person thing. All of a sudden they'd be like, oh no, look, we shut all that down and put this Coke can on there. And,
that's right. Not that micro, but yes.
That powers the whole thing. We nailed it.
Yeah. It's an interesting niche because they're not trying to do like grid level stuff. It's like you need a backup for a data center, let's say, or a military base that's remote, or factories that want the heat and the energy and they're off the grid, or they need to like manipulate stuff independently. You could build a ton of these and serialize them into a plant, which is really cool. But they also are small enough, like, the big ass like dump trucks they have in mining operations and stuff like that. Yeah. You could put one of these on a big vehicle.
Yeah, that's
like,
amazing.
In theory, like a train or something. Like you could do really cool stuff with this
train that ran forever
format.
Yes.
Yeah, like a Snowpiercer. Let's make that real.
This is your next book. You told me you wanted to take a cut at a fiction book at some point, and it's actually going to be rooted in this investment.
It's a Seawolf. It's a Seawolf.
Yes. Yeah, it is.
Boat out there just going forever, harvesting protein cakes.
Yeah.
Man.
This is the beginning of the nuclear pirates.
Guys, we have so many weird books that we brought together in this one moment.
And nobody knows what the hell we're talking about. Yeah. So Aalo Atomics, really, really cool. They will be announcing a bunch more recently.
Hello.
The founder, I'm going to unplug Al's mic. The founder shares a bunch of great stuff on nuclear on Twitter. So follow Matt Lozak and learn more about this company. Is a really, really cool one. It'll require a lot more patience, I think, than some of these quick software company SaaS things that we got. But I'm really glad this one's in the mix and very exciting.
Our longer throws that like, can we change humanity with our small check?
All regulatory risk and technical risk. If it hits the market, it's a big company.
It's a lot of ifs, but that's what we're about, man.
Yeah,
we need some of those in here.
Roll those dice.
You guys don't want only sure bets. You want some micro nuclear reactors in here, and we're here for it. Well, it's funny because so much of our criteria too is like, do we like this stuff? Is it interesting?
Hell yeah, we like this.
Because there's a bunch that'll, of people that are building companies that you're like, I'm sure you'll be successful and that's cool. I just don't want to think about it.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yep. Yeah.
And so we're gonna pass. I'm sorry, but like this is like, ooh,
yeah, we
can nerd out on that. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Good find.
Yeah, that's a good one. Shout out to Chris for hooking that up, and Matt for letting us in. And I think we're lucky. There's not that many in this industry that raise at like smaller rounds and reasonable things. Like you don't always get a chance. Like,
well, this is one that like at the point where either regulatory or technical is proven out, they don't need, like they'll never need any of us ever again.
Yeah.
Right. Like it's a solved problem. So to be able to like pay a small salary for the guys while they're going. Of course. We'd love to be here.
Yeah. And their round was led by 50 Years, which is a cool, like super futuristic.
What's their
VC? San Francisco based, like all entrepreneur LPs, which is really cool.
Look at it like
pretty big
50-year type companies. Yeah.
They're
makes
like,
now that I hear the name.
Yep.
I got it. I'm with you.
Good work, Al.
All right. Let me tell you about our third and final for the quarter. Yes.
Yep. 3 for the quarter.
Just 3.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. When I loved it, this was like the last checkout. So it was like not 50K. It was $46,993.28.
That's correct.
Like we are just kings of ruining the math on cap tables. We wouldn't like to write you a 25K check. We'd like to write you a 26. So you suck.
And we appreciate your patience with us.
That's right.
We do that. We just we deploy every dollar
as
best we can. We don't want it sitting around.
Right. Okay, so this is Solve data. Solve is from this guy, Neil. Neil built Sail Through from back in the day. So if you've been in e-commerce for a decade-ish, you remember Sail Through. Sail Through was actually really, really forward-thinking in terms of like they would crawl your catalog on your website, ingest all of your products, and then like build customized recommendations by email for them. They were the first to be doing this. They were innovative that you didn't have to maintain a feed to them. They just knew and saw it. Like there's a bunch of stuff they're doing right. Their product really struggled after Neil left. But like, man, for a while there, they cost a fortune.
Yep.
Had a big promise, did a great job, but then like just got surpassed by a bunch of people in the market. We used them. I tried to stiff them with a big bill as I left. I tried sending them like the spider that I valued at $30,000, like that idea. It didn't go fast. I ended up having to pay him money, but really didn't like the service in the end. But in the beginning, we loved it. Thought it was great. So Neil's back. Neil's back doing a thing. He's doing Solve data. So the idea with this is I've been waiting for a long time. I literally have a PowerPoint from like a decade ago where I describe like the e-commerce brain, where like if we can start building data events around a primary key of a customer, right? So like Bo comes to the site, Bo chats with a customer service agent. Bo doesn't come back for 3 months. Like I should know that, this thing, he came tied to this, and then I didn't see him again. Maybe there's a customer service problem here. Or what was this event that happened right there? And then we send him an email, and then we send him a text, and then this other thing happens. And like we can understand what's happening in this, and then change the what we're doing based on these inputs. And so everything, like there's a lot of places that you can save data. Like you can data lake data, where you just dump it all in a big space. But there's not a lot of stuff where like you're trying to have an active center brain that is aggregating all of this around the customer and then building outputs or like changing how the site behaves or how customer service flows would go, something like that, right? So Solve is coming in saying, hey, we're going to do that, right? Their V1 is really around first party data, right? Trying to like help you, the merchant, recreate the data that you used to be able to access very easily you used to be able to connect to Facebook and find your people and do stuff with them because it was very transparent who was doing this, and your third party apps would help you.
So first party is like the e-commerce company itself owns the data.
If I go to your website and you're allowed to track what happens on your website. Yeah. But third-party trackers are now a big no-no, which is like other companies want to be put on my website and monitor what they're doing.
Which was everybody used Facebook and Google for that.
Everybody used the third-party tracker because it's hard to build and maintain your own data storehouse of your own customers and what you're doing, right? So they're coming in and saying, look, we'll help you solve this we'll help you build your first-party data so you have data again that you can access, you can take with you, you can do whatever you want with. But also, we are going to make that a really rich data set by connecting all these other sources as time goes on. to the point where now you will have your e-commerce brain that you can connect back into your Shopify store and say, hey, when somebody does this, this should happen. And like, we'll learn about this and make it better. And so I've been looking for this forever, man. There's a lot of people that are doing data, a lot of people doing data in e-commerce, none that are doing data that I think are doing it phenomenally well. And so I mean, it's still too early to say that they've solved it, but like they're aimed in the right direction. It's from a founder that we really believe gets it and has done interesting stuff in this space before.
Yeah, this is such a sane next stop after Sail Through, because Sail Through was so much of this on like the front end CRM side that like internalizing that and giving it to you, the e-commerce owner. I mean, this dude has got to be one of the smartest 10 people in the world about the thing that he is tackling, which is exactly who you want to see.
Wait, did you use Sail Through?
Yeah, man. Literally one of the best. It was one of the best kind of e-commerce tool pitches that I've ever seen. It was so good, in fact, that I remember the sticker shock on their pricing. Everybody swallowed it. And I remember there was like a 6-month period where everybody that I knew working on an e-commerce business got on Sail Through. Yep. I mean, it just like having the skill set to do it was the biggest shortage. And then it's like, do you need to hire them to do it? Can you hire people to do it? Like, I mean, he has lived this show before, and I think really awesome to get to back him. Like, this is going to be really cool.
And the environment is demanding this solution, right? Like as these Facebook already turned theirs off.
Well, like with Apple, like everything,
or Apple's stopped it already.
It's just very
Google's
out of
going
vogue
too
to let third-party stuff exist, and so like building your own and then enriching that in meaningful ways is going to be crucial.
And people can't afford to keep reacquiring their own customers through like the acquisition costs of Instagram and YouTube and stuff. Like increasingly have to just like own your own data.
Well, acquisition is one thing, and then there's also just the maintenance and like longevity of that customer, which is where a lot like imagine in my world. So I've got an e-commerce sort of collection of companies, right? And so I should have first party data from like 5 different stores, and I should know if I got a customer in one.
Yeah.
And like, did I feed it over to the other? Like, where else is it shopped? What has happened? But like, because I don't own that first party data, I like, it's really tough to do that. Yeah. And so now creating a world where it's like, oh no, and they've hit these flags, they've done this, and so like me as an enterprise, I've built this profile and I've augmented it with all these other inputs. Like it starts to be a really, really cool thing. And this one came through. There's actually an investor in Pretzel. My defunct. I'm so sad that doesn't exist, man. Every time I try to do a budget thing, I'm like, look at Pretzel. I was a genius.
This episode will now be devoted to Pretzel.
But they were one of my first checks into Pretzel, and just a good group that we've stayed in touch with. And they were coming in on this and sent it over to us because they knew I loved the space, and so we're coming in and excited to be in.
Yeah. It was a big round too. Like they're going to be able to make a long way on this.
Yeah, well, and this is one that like you can't raise $1.5 million and do anything, right? Yeah. It needs like a real engineering move and which,
sales,
which uniquely positions a guy with this track record aimed at this space to do it. So.
Yeah, the early traction is good. I think they've got a very thoughtful like wedge and expand.
Yeah,
like approach to this.
We installed it on ours, so we're testing it on my companies. I was like, I've seen a lot of these. Let me try it out. We'll test it, make sure it's real before we come in because so it's real. We like it. It's cool.
I mean, it's such an amazing advantage. Every time we get an e-com pitch, I'm just like, Al,
do you like this? Would you try it? Are you a customer yet? Let's go.
Have you been desperate for this for 4 years? If so, try it. If you're like, oh shit.
It actually has been a bunch of them where I'm like, I've started this for a long time and never cared about this.
Yeah. Or this is the exact same pitch. I've seen this pitch every year. Like, but yeah, when you see one like that and you're like, yeah, we integrated it and it made us money and let's go.
I'll tell my friends. Yeah. We should all do it. Yeah.
Yeah. Really cool one. So interesting set of companies. Like,
what's the next quarter theme going to be?
We never know.
The
last quarter's theme was "Oops, all B2B SaaS."
Yep.
Oops,
but all different industries, all different stages. Like that one was good. And now, we got product. This one is "Oops, all repeat founders teams."
I'm curious. Like, what do you guys like? What's your impression of the space out there right now, of like fundraising and stuff?
I think the bar is going up. I think like less of the low end of companies are getting funded. I think prices are coming down, but not as much as they will. I think they'll continue to kind of come down.
That's interesting because that is one of the things that we ask ourselves now is like, we want to be early, but can this round actually come together? Like, do we believe you're going to go and get everybody to follow? Yeah.
Yeah. And it's a tough, I mean, like there's a story to tell both ways. Like we like to be early and like first check in, which we were for Aalo and for Faster Better. I also do not mind being like the last check in on some of these that you're like, it's just dicey.
It's actually, dude, that's the most frustrating investor feedback too. I'm like, yeah, I want to be there. Call me when everybody else is committed, and then I'll be in there. But yeah,
I mean, I think it's, you guys might have different perspectives. I don't think it's like super responsible of a founder to be like, I'm raising a round, just like give me your 50 or 100K right now, and like I'll let you know. It's like, I want to know that you have a whole actual round put together. I don't want to pay 2 weeks of your payroll, like.
Well, dude, I like honestly,
while you keep fundraising.
Yeah, it kind of goes both ways, right? We're like, if you're going to raise $1 million, you can pull 500K in, like, great, go build, and then the outcome of that build will fill your other 500K, right? Or like look at, there's no right way or wrong way to do it. I don't think it's I'm saying I don't think it's irresponsible of founder because I did it this way. But it is like, yeah, it's no, I think any way you make a company exist is worth it. But like it feels like there's a lot less riffraff. Like it feels riskier to start a company right now than it has in a while, maybe.
Yeah, I agree with that. But I also think that like there's going to be a lot more people in the next 6 months whose best alternative to go start a company because they lost their FANG job or whatever. And everybody's going to, watching this Twitter experiment. Hey, can we get rid of 80% of the people and still grow? Well, those people are going to go do something, right? I think my hunch is that sometime in the next 3 quarters, we will end up with a theme that is all people who were laid off by FANG that are starting companies now. I think actually we'll see a round of that. I think it's going to be hard to avoid seeing at least a quarter or two where there's not a handful of different combobulations of AI companies. And the tough thing with those right now is like, they're all kind of using the same back ends and they're different wrappers on the front end and stuff. And I've been looking at a few of them that I'm like, I can't tell if those are real companies or if those little tools or whatever, but it's coming. Like we're going to see a bunch of them all clustered together at some point.
That's a little bit of a scary, like from our perspective, it's like, I don't want a ton of pitches of people who've been like thinking about something for 3 months.
Agree.
Like we got to filter hard for the,
I mean, it is the opposite of the folks who are like, hey, they've been in a sector 10, 20 years, or they're the experts in a thing. It's like, on the other hand, like amazing consumer things get built on stuff that people have been thinking about for less than 3 months because it wasn't possible a year ago. And when you've got new tools on the back end where it's like, this is obviously going to exist. It's just until this other thing existed, you couldn't do it. And now there's 20 cuts at it.
And there's a bunch of great companies that are like capabilities that were worth building inside Facebook that someone would leave. Like adversarial testing was like an example of this. Of like, like,
no, it was really just for us. I had a buddy call me and say, we were just talking about the AI stuff. He's like, this feels like buying domains in the 90s, right? We're like, there's got to be a bunch of like stuff that the AI now solves.
Yep.
That if we can like get in early on it, do you have like, is there anything that you're like staring at that you're like, man, this should exist now? Like, dude, using ChatGPT and like nerding out on it for a couple of weeks, like my mind is blown, but also everything I want to do with it is like iterative executive assistant stuff.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, look, I think the current killer app that everybody's fired up about, but I don't know if there's a company is just cheating on your homework.
Yeah.
Like that, but in all seriousness, like someone is going to build a thing in that space that gets used by lots of people. So
I saw somebody rigged up their 3D printer to be like ChatGPT's generating a script and their 3D printer's handwriting it.
Yeah.
Like their homework.
I honestly like the ones that I've been playing around with. And again, they're not really companies, but like there will be companies is like, I actually think the integration of like AI and like real-time generated art, I think it's one that made me think of you a bit because I think there's going to be some really interesting art companies where it's like every piece. I was literally playing around with my 9-year-old and 11-year-old, right? And we're playing in there and saying, like /imagine in this little Discord and just coming up with anything they want. And it's like creating one-of-one art that's never existed before. Yeah, Midjourney's amazing, right? And we're like, and I was like, God, like the obvious things you want. And then you go find, there's some versions of them. It's like, oh, I want to print a collection of these. And it's like, someone is going to go build a little print on demand, cool version where all of the art in your house is created by you. You are the artist. And like, there's going to be 10 cuts at that and it's going to be really cool. And
I did a little presentation of it for fabric where I'm like, here, give me a repeating floral print that I can use for this. And it's like, oh, this is never, now do it with lilies. Now do it with lilies and butterflies in the style of Van Gogh. And it's like,
Glyph is going to do a bunch of that, I think.
I mean, I actually think Glyph is one of those where it's like, I keep thinking about that investment and like, man, there's going to be some cool stuff where those things get paired. But what I really think is like, I think we're going to see a bunch of interesting cuts, some of which like smell like e-commerce, but on an AI backend, some of which look and feel very different. And I don't know. Like I've had a hard time figuring out like, oh, this feels like the killer app that should obviously exist.
I think we got to be careful on like a bunch of this is going to accrue to incumbents, right? Like like Notion already rolled out AI assistant, like Google will have autocomplete, like there'll be a ton of that stuff in there. And then there's these like the really high level large language model stuff is going to be like whoever's the biggest data centers is going to be able to like crush everybody else, or like that'll be incumbents on the big side versus incumbents on the adoption side. I think the real opportunities, which we have some on the like kind of our watch list that we're talking to founders about this, where it's like if you're creating your own proprietary data set and implementing it, like AI needs to be like one of your 3. Like it needs to be a part of your full implementation, and like then you can crush an entire industry. But you can't be like. But actually, I think the most exciting ones are outside of software.
Well, missing that one, right? Missing the AI piece, those companies couldn't exist. And so like that one, we're like add that in. I want the Jarvis from Iron Man, where like give me the voice that just reads. Like let me interact with this with a Chat GPT. It'd be way more fun than an Alexa or a Google Home. Right? I think like way more fun to be like, hey, what's going on here? It's like, well, actually,
I'll tell you a thing that I was watching recently as I was playing around in Midjourney is you can go into those like newbie rooms on Midjourney and watch what everyone else is using it for, right? And so the ones that I think, so you see weird art stuff, you see a lot of weird stuff in there. But then you start to see these like very utility use cases where it is very obvious to me that there is some kitchen designer who is asking Midjourney to give it better ideas to present to some client that they're going to go sell to them. And it's like modern kitchen with prairie, vibes and blah, blah, blah. And it renders 4. And then they change the words a little and do it again. And it's like, it's doing all of the work for someone who's getting paid, and the end customer actually has no idea that that's coming from an engine like that. And there's some beautiful things, right? And so it's like where you can like kind of expand your scope of creativity or whatever on those tools, but you already are an expert in a thing, feels like very rich territory to me.
We've seen some like, we'll write and illustrate a kid's book for your kid, and it'll be unique to you. Like there's some stuff like that that's I'm like they're sort of kitschy, cool things, but I'm like, man, I still can't quite see what the V3 of that is, where like it solved a real problem or changed how we live somehow because of this.
The Jarvis thing, like I want an AI voice assistant that fails over to Athena. Like I want a human of like who's like watching my conversation kind of play out. And it's like anything that AI can't do, I want the EA to just like jump in and do it. Like that loop is like really like if you can speak into a thing and it is resolved, and I don't even care whether software did it or not.
Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting of like an EA that stands behind the
the exception handler. Right. Yeah. Real human is an exception handler.
We sort of like book this flight, but I want you to book it with my Amex points. And all of a sudden it's like, well, it doesn't have the right access, but now a human is like, oh, we got it. And here's the result. And then the AI is like, Eric, I've solved your problem.
Which is what Magic like tried to do that through text.
I remember that.
Which is interesting. But like AI, the voice feels so much more magic if it's
I also like, man, I had an idea 15 years ago. Like I wanted the drive time DJ that would like pull your news, your podcast, your weather and everything, but like for you and the stuff that you liked, right?
Oh, that'd be cool.
And like just build my morning routine as you wake up, and it sort of interacts, and like you can say, hey, move this thing on my calendar, do this instead. And like that level of just like, it's a tight 1 hour. or even like, dude, you sit, somebody, let me plug in all of my Netflix, my Hulu, my whatever. And like, you're going to build my nighttime programming.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Hey, we're going to do,
it should be super like that
15 minutes of Seinfeld. Oh, that was great. Anyway, moving on to this. And you're I'll just lean back and watch.
Yeah. That kind of hyper personalization, I think, is going to happen. It could be really, really cool.
Yeah. I wonder,
especially since you can stitch it together, you can generate everything really easily in between.
I wonder if there's anything sort of, I don't know, AI, but with the turntable FM sort of style where we all come together, like we're all actually all getting together, but there's something that's solving a thing for, I don't know. There's a lot of this stuff, man, that I'm so curious where we end up. I can't wait to see what some of these companies coming up the chain are, man.
Yeah, there's some wild stuff. You want to do some portfolio updates?
Do it. Do it, Bo.
No, lay it on us, Eric. Eric, you were the captain.
Both me and Bo were just excited to be a part.
I know. I can't wait to hear him.
Good job. we have a note going out to LPs. I think I'll put it out tomorrow as we're recording this. That's about just what's going on in the 14 companies we invested in last year, basically. And there's 6, 7 that are like there's material exciting updates for. Just really not all are like publicly announceable yet, but just really cool to see everybody growing like gently. Omela, steady, like just growing usage week over week.
They know where they're going. They're just executing.
Small teams executing quick.
I feel like all of their investor updates literally can just be one chart and you know everything you need to know. Yeah. It's like up and to the right significantly. Have a nice day.
Yep.
Like, which is really awesome.
Plenty of cash, growing like crazy. Yeah, there we go. Drively, like staying quiet for a while, but early customers, cool stuff happening. Like I can't wait till they announce and we get to have them on the podcast and hear their stories. Like those guys are amazing.
They were great because I remember when you were pitching, I'm like, I don't know the space as well, man, but I'll trust you on this. If
none of us know the space.
You're like, listen, they're great. But I got a buddy that's like the dude in the car journalism world stuff, and he's working on a new idea. And I was like, you should talk to the Drively guys. Connected him up. He's like, this is the real deal, man. This is amazing. And I was like, well, that's great to know.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah.
But he was just so excited about what they were building and the problems that it was going to solve for like people that are trying to do the next generation of like car buying and selling and parts and the aftermarket and all that stuff now gets to exist in a world where Drively does their job well. And it's like, that's cool.
It is wild how some, like, I think Plaid's the best example. Some of these companies can be like, if you heard the pitch, like unless you really understood the industry and the problem, you'd be kind of like, is that doesn't that already exist? Does that matter? Like, doesn't everybody have the data already? And then like people in the industry who experience it are like, holy shit, if you give me that, you know what I can do?
Yeah.
Like this
Plaid is a great example of like the pitch would be, we're going to let you log into your bank account. And it's like, why can't I just go build an API into Chase? Like they offer it. I could do it just like that. It's like, but we're going to charge an obscene amount of money on top of it.
And we're going to do it for all of them.
And then we'll do it for a bunch. And it's like, all right, whatever, man. Yeah. But then as they get going now, any fintech that comes up, you would never try and build that yourself.
And now they're so big that the SEC blocked their acquisition. Like, wild.
We should all build companies that the SEC blocks.
I mean,
it's our new
guys, I think when we get there, then I'll be happy.
Yeah.
Once I do that, then
that's right.
Yeah. Luckily for you, they're lowering their bar every day. They're just like block. No, nobody can sell anything.
I'm sorry,
ever
you
again.
cannot have a quilting monopoly on the planet Earth. You just can't have it. You can't have
a dangerous level of control over the quilting market.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Which is a real thing, man. I think Joanne's is trading at like 160 million market cap right now. I'm like, dude, we should all licking your chops. Oh my gosh, dude. How great would that be? $3 billion in revenue for 160 million?
They do that much revenue?
Dude, yeah. 2.9 billion last year.
Why is the stock so bad? Because
Al's not running it. It's because Al's not running it.
Because they have 600 and some stores with a mountain of debt attached to them. And like physical retail gets valued so crappy because like Michael's, right? If Michael's can do 1% of growth, everybody just high fives and they have parties on a yacht. Like that's all you're trying to do is just this tiny incremental, but we're running in these physical retail shops. Where e-commerce, you don't have any of that debt. You don't have any of the leases and all the stuff tied to that. Doesn't matter. You're just making money out of a warehouse. Physical retail, you have such a mountain of overhead associated with that $3 billion that their value is just like peanuts.
Al buys them both, gets rid of all the real estate, ships all their inventory to Hamilton. Bang. Let's go. Everybody comes.
Who wants to do a roll up?
Let's go. Let's go.
Let's stitch it together.
We're going. That's going to be our entire Q2.
Yeah.
Is the Bizarre
Yes.
The quilting investment roll up.
Yeah.
Okay. Great ideas. Great ideas, all.
Okay. Last two portfolio updates real quick. Stell Engineering launched their presses out. They didn't launch a product. They announced their fundraise, finished a $3 million round, added a co-lead, and hired their...
They ended up being like a little Cinderella, man. Everybody loved them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Everybody loves them. Yep. Yeah. No, I think that was one of those where I think we all looked at the beginning. We're like, that sounds like hard. They seem smart. Let's see what happens. And now everybody's like, oh, they're amazing.
What an incredibly obvious need, but that's going to be a hard company that totally believe it. And they added a technical, I'm not sure if co-founder or senior technical person who's managing that product team is a perfect background, SpaceX, Palantir, a dude. So that's going to be really cool. I'm excited for that.
Live is rock and roll. We got to go out to Utah and go see this guy and test his product.
Everybody I know is getting one of those things for Christmas next year.
Yeah.
This year. I can't wait to get those out in the world and just be cranking on. Every time my wife gets out her Cricut, I'm just like, soon that's going to be a glyph. This is happening.
I will destroy them.
Yeah. And then WeaveChain, Omar's going to come on the pod like next week.
That's great.
I'm going to have him and Zach Pettit on.
Oh, man. Oh, that'll be awesome.
We're going to tear
great
up
idea.
the
awesome
fintech.
They finished their round, yeah?
WeaveChain? Yeah, they're kind of like value add angels only stage right now. They're playing the game of how far, how much conviction can we get before we have to do a bigger raise. So they're another couple of months we might get another big partner or two, which could really boost the valuation. This is a tough dance to play, but they're doing great and building like crazy and sponsoring hackathons. They got customer implementations, they got revenue now, it's growing like crazy.
That's cool.
It's just such a cool, I was telling Omar, I was like, dude, we can lobby Congress to mandate, there is no world in which financial institutions that hold people's money shouldn't have a verified chain of custody and proof of liquidity and proof of reserves at all time. If you were building it from scratch,
I was going to say,
FTX should be impossible.
Well, as I'm looking at the BlockFi bankruptcy settlement papers in the other room where they're like, oh, we locked the prices there and this is how much we think we're going to. It's no, you actually said you were custodying my coins and instead you were not.
Yep.
No, what? But that's what it's going to end up being.
Yeah. Wow. And that's that should be, every financial institution should just permanently have red light, green light next to it. And it's if you ever lose that red light, paratroopers fall out of the sky on you with,
or at least tell all of the customers, right? Just transparent.
Or a text goes out. I mean, either one really solves the problem.
Yeah. All right, I like my solution. That's fine. Yeah, but that's one of the early use cases for WeaveChain. I think that's super cool.
Yeah, I think their timing is amazing with that. So, and honestly, it'd be great to hear their perspective on the current state of things, because they have got to have a lens where it's we could have fixed this before it ever became a problem.
Yeah.
Don't you want to keep it from happening again? Right.
Yeah. So, I mean, I can imagine every politician wanting to stand up and be FTX should never have happened. It can never happen again. Everybody should pass this thing that's requires. It's seems so clear. If you want regulation, have them automatically self-regulate. It'd be very easy.
Also, it feels like that should exist inside of non-financial companies too, right? The ability to do accounting should be so we know exactly what money's here, where it's aimed for, what it did before. Just connect your thing and we'll tell you if we can give you a loan or not.
Yeah. Bang. All right. That's portfolio updates for the most part. Fund's still growing. I wasn't sure, this is downturn, people holding cash. I understand. We got
people still getting into nuclear.
People still like nuclear. We got 7 new LPs this quarter.
We're aimed at some couple bigger fish to round us out. And then, really, I mean, I feel like we've kind of got the best friends in that we love. If you have other best friends you like in, come along.
Yeah.
But initially it was mainly Eric's Twitter following and then a few of our friends. have come together and like let us do this, which is awesome. And then we'll round it out with some big swings and
yeah. I was talking to a friend this week who is whatever, he is a guy in the hedge fund world, and we were just talking about kind of what we're up to and kind of how we approach this and everything. And he was quiet for like a long time, and he was like, "What you do is so much more fun than what I do." I was like, "I think you're probably right. You're right." And I was like, "Yeah, we want to intentionally keep this in the, 2-3 million a year, because that lets us write $50,000, $100,000, $150,000 checks." And he was like, "Oh my God, that is like such a breath of fresh air compared to like, oh, we need a $30 million commitment. And then there's all of this regulation that goes." I was like, "Yeah, AngelList really does most of that for us on the back end." Like, we basically get to talk about cool companies and people we want to back and then decide. Yeah. Like, awesome.
Someone on Twitter described like working on Wall Street, that like they were like, "Oh, I used to work on Wall Street where the highlight of my day was trying to put together my seamless lunch order."
Oh, I saw that. I saw that. That was hilarious.
That is the exact reason, like, not to be in a hedge fund, instead to be over here, where it's like, there's no dread in any of the work we do.
No, it's awesome.
If we were trying to do some big A16Z, it's like, whoa, just got to crunch numbers all day. I'm wondering what I'm going to have for lunch.
Yeah.
But we are excited about lunch. Also.
Yeah. Also true.
Still fun.
Yeah.
Who are we sponsored by today? What lunch will we have?
Johnny Joe's Stromboli. Is that true?
Johnny Joe's, a local legend, hole in the wall.
Yeah.
But it's part of.
You haven't had it, have you?
I haven't had Stromboli in a long time.
You're in for a treat.
Let alone.
You're in for a treat.
This is part of Bo's plan to fill us up with cheese and dominate us on the basketball court. It's going to be a thing.
We may want to
surprise
first,
awaits,
honestly. It might be.
I only play basketball when I'm filled up with cheese.
Speaking of LPs, I was listening to a fascinating podcast recently about the size of the endowment and hedge fund inherent in the Mormon Church, and I was wondering,
it's very large.
What are our ins on that? Is there a way to get the?
You able to get that $100 billion?
Get some of that $100 billion, just a tiny fraction of that.
My favorite thing is about the $100 billion hedge fund that the Ensign Peak is. It's like 7% growth. Like they have not crushed their returns. They've just like.
We can help with that. Actually, my friend that I was talking to, who was at a hedge fund, that is one of their LPs, and it is like one of the big home run LPs when you can get them. Right? It's like you want to get Harvard, you want to get the big university endowments, and then you want to get the Mormons. Yeah, right. Like,
everybody says that about us.
Yeah,
You got the Mormon vote.
Yeah,
great.
We're in.
Yeah. You got Utah.
Delight.
Yeah.
You got Utah and 2 counties in Southern California.
There's no higher compliment than the affection of a Mormon, I've found.
That's true.
Because it's non-sexual. Because it's pure love.
They love you for you.
They're not trying to bone you. They just want to give you love.
Makes sense. Honestly, now that you said it out, that makes perfect sense.
It's so pure.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
We're honored by your presence. Thanks for gracing us.
I hope you feel the genuine love here.
Yeah.
Nothing sexual.
I've never been more relaxed than I am right now, actually. It's amazing. Just hearing that out loud, I just feel calm.
Feel loved from me.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
All right, you guys. Till
That's a good place to stop it.